This is Mel Allen. It's a bright, sunny afternoon, and what a beautiful day for a ball game.
I'm talking baseball, like Reggie Quisenberry, talking baseball. Carew and Gaylord Perry, Seaver, Garvey, Schmidt, and Vida Blue. If Cooperstown is calling, it's no fluke. They'll be with Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
Now, ESPN 95.9 and the main event are proud to bring you our weekly minor league baseball report, Down on the Farm, with our minor league baseball expert, Andrew Force. Down on the Farm is sponsored exclusively by State Farm agent Darren Powell and Mount Pulaski. Call Darren today at 877-792-3371 for all your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Now, let's go down on the farm.
Welcome back to Down on the Farm. This week we'll take a look at the minor leaguers related to other players or coaches around baseball. The two guests this week are Cardinals pitching coach Dave Duncan's kid, Chris Duncan, and former Cardinal Tommy Herr's kid, Aaron Herr. But first, let's take a look at the connections around the Cubs farm system. After CP, Corey Patterson moved down to AAA to cut down his swooping swing, two Pattersons occupied the Cubs minor leagues. Corey, since July 7th, is hitting 185 with 3 homers and 5 stolen bases for the Iowa Cubs. His younger brother Eric has spent the entire year with Low A Peoria. After making the Midwest League All-Star game, Eric is continuing to flourish in the second half. Batting .347 with 29 stolen bases, Patterson has 64 runs and 50 driven in. Just a great season for the younger Patterson. Ben Grieve, who has been up and down with the Cubs all year, was selected 2nd overall in the 1994 draft, making Ben and his father Tom the first father-son combination to both be first-round picks. His father Tom Grieve played 9 seasons for the Senators, Rangers, Mets, and Cardinals, and later became the GM of the Texas Rangers. 1997 Minor League Player of the Year, 1998 American League Rookie of the Year, and All-Star. Ben Grieve was even called the franchise by Kevin Mitchell in his rookie year with Oakland. Grieve's career has tapered off dramatically, though, since he joined Tampa Bay in 2001. He is now relegated to 6th outfielder in a 5-outfielder rotation in Chicago. First up, Chris Duncan. I'm talking with Chris Duncan of the Memphis Redbirds, the AAA affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. Thank you for joining me today, Chris.
Yeah, no problem.
Batting 5th quite a bit this year. How do you deal with the pressure to drive in runs?
Well, I don't think there's too much pressure. You kind of just bat where they put you, and you just try to take good at-bats every time, and, you try not to think about pressure.
I'm sure you want to establish yourself on your own, and you certainly have. So I'll go with just one, your dad is Dave Duncan, Cardinals pitching coach question, all right?
All right.
Could you talk a little bit about your experiences growing up around Major League Baseball?
Yeah, it was nothing but good. All I can do is help being around that environment and learning from big league coaches and big league players. So, it was a great opportunity for me to get exposed to the game and, learn a lot of stuff that maybe other kids wouldn't have the chance to learn. So, it was really good.
You have an older brother playing with the Yankees farm system. Did you two push each other growing up?
Yeah, we pushed each other pretty hard. We're pretty competitive, and, being so close in age, we always played on the same teams, and, we were really competitive, so we definitely pushed each other.
Can you remember your longest hitting streak?
No, I can't.
How about the most at-bats without a hit?
I don't know. I want to say maybe in Potomac one year I might have gone like 38 at-bats or something.
Wow. Is that rough to get through mentally?
Oh, yeah. But I think it's good for young players to go through, struggling at some point in time, because I think in the long run it makes you better, and then when it happens to you again, you don't flip out as much, So I think it's definitely something that, even though it's tough to go through, it can help.
I have talked with a number of players in the Cardinals farm system this year, and a common theme among the players has been the amazing talent St. Louis has for field players in the major league level. Do you worry about your place on the big league club for that reason?
No, not at all. I try not to think about it. All you can kind of do is just think about doing your job where you're at, and then, you kind of think about just doing your job where you're at, and that other stuff will just take care of itself.
Pujols is signed through 2010. First base is your major position. You've played a little outfield this year. Do you think that's a legitimate option for you, outfield?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Just, get my repetitions out there, and, it can't hurt to be versatile. So, I think every player should be able to play more than one position because you never know what can happen.
13 stolen bases in 2001, 8 last year. Do you make a conscious effort to swipe some bags, or do you think that's something that the situation dictates?
It's all up to the manager. If they give me the steal sign, I'll go. If they don't want me to run, that's fine.
Baseball, more than any other sport, is conducive to sons, nephews, etc., making the mark in the big leagues or even in the minors. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think just growing her up around the field, and baseball, they can take their kids out there every day and have them shagging and hitting, and it's a long season, and you bring your kids out there every day, he's going to pick up some stuff, and it helps.
You had a great spring training this year, 364, a home run, 8 games. Did you think that you might stay up to start the year?
No, not at all.
These questions take a little bit of hypothetical thinking, but they could be fun, perhaps. You're playing every day for the St. Louis Cardinals, 29 years old, doing your thing. Give me what you think you will hit: home runs, RBI average, stolen bases.
I have no idea.
All right. Do you think it's pretty nice playing in the home games in Memphis at the AutoZone Park?
Yeah, it's a beautiful park, and it's a good time. It's a nice park. If you're in the minors, it can't get any better than this.
From your first year to your second year in Peoria, you raised your batting average 50 points. From your first year to second year in Tennessee, the previous AA affiliate of the Cardinals, you raised your average 89 points. How do you account for these astonishing improvements?
Just experience. I think the more at-bats you get and the more pitches you face, the more comfortable you get, and you learn how to deal with things, and experience makes you a better player.
Is it hard for you to take a walk or have the patience to take a walk?
No, not at all. I mean, that's part of the game. If they're not going to give you pitches to hit, that's what makes you better players and not chase.
Thanks a lot for your time.
All right, thank you.
That was Chris Duncan, member of the Memphis Redbirds, AAA affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. His father, Dave Duncan, is currently the pitching coach for the parent club. Dave has been with Tony La Russa since 1986 and on the Cards coaching staff since 1995. By no means is Chris Duncan the only Cardinals minor leaguer with family ties to Major League personalities. Just this year, in fact, the Cardinals drafted 3 whose surnames rattle the memory banks of longtime Redbird fans. The great-nephew of Hall of Fame infielder and former Cardinals manager Red Shandy was taken in the 40th round. As August approaches, Jesse has not been signed, and it appears his professional baseball dreams will have to start elsewhere. In 1979, St. Louis drafted Andy Van Slyke. Though the bulk of his career was spent in Steel City, his first 4 full years were played under the Arch's shadow. In 12 Major League years, center fielder Van Slyke acquired 5 Gold Gloves and maintained an 81% success rate stealing bases. His sons AJ and Scott were both drafted back in June. The Cardinals pick, AJ, is a smallish 6'1", dubbed My Little David X. Stein by his father. He's off to a swift start, hitting over .340 at both rookie-level teams. The Van Slyks were the third set of brothers to be taken in the same draft. In 1984, the Mets took Sean Abner from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, first overall. His brother Ben went to Montreal in the 5th round. In 1997, J.D. Drew was picked 2nd overall by Philadelphia, while brother Tim went 28th to Cleveland. Cardinals offensive torchbearer Albert Pujols may see his younger cousin down the bench in St. Louis Sunday. First cousin Will Friedel was selected back in June. Currently, Will Friedel is struggling with Johnson City as he has struck out 17 times in 33 at-bats. Former Down on the Farm guest Matt Pagnozzi is working on his hitting in AA right now. Pag's uncle Tom played nearly 1,000 games at catcher for the late 80s, early 90s edition of the Cardinals. Matt is honestly up in AA predominantly because Yadier Molina's injury bumped up the catching prospects a level each. Next, Aaron Herr, another legacy, son of former big leaguer Tommy Herr. Speaking with Aaron Herr, plays for the Springfield Cardinals, the AA affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. First off, I believe fans around here would be pretty jealous if they heard some of the memories you have of your childhood, the St. Louis Cardinals with your father, Tom Herr. Could you give us a couple of those, maybe 1 or 2 perhaps?
Oh man, there's so many. I remember being bat boy probably the first 8 years of my life, and being around the clubhouse and hanging out with all the guys and Whitey and all them, and they're like a bunch of my stepdads and step-grandpas. I mean, it was a great childhood, and I particularly just remember mostly all the spring trainings in St. Pete. We'd go there, and I'd bat boy for them, and spring training was so much fun for me just because all the guys were just laid back for spring training, so they could have a lot more fun with me and then during the season. So,
after spending most of your career in the Braves farm system, you were picked up by the Mariners in the Rule 5 draft. What exactly is the Rule 5 draft?
It's called the Rule 5 draft. It's for players that are eligible. So during their protection year and every year after that, if a team doesn't protect you, another team can Rule 5 you, and that means they can put you on their in their system. Now, if the Braves would have protected me on the AAA roster and the Mariners would have Rule 5'd me, it means they would have had to put me in the big leagues. But I was protected on the AA roster, so the Mariners could have they can put me wherever they wanted. And then I went to spring training with them, and I thought the opportunity was going to be great, and it didn't work out like I thought it was going to be. So I asked for my release the last week of camp, and they gave it to me the following day, and then I was a free agent for a couple weeks, and the Cardinals called.
For a baseball father listening, what can youngsters do to work out before they're old enough to work out with weights?
Oh, man, just I wouldn't even think weights are the big part of it right now. I think as a childhood, I think just let their kids have fun. And the thing I see the most now is just fathers really pressuring their kids to be something that maybe they're not supposed to be, or think that they're better than that they really are. But just let them have fun, and if they like baseball, let them keep playing baseball. If they don't, I wouldn't pressure it. I mean, I had a father who played baseball, and he never once made me play. If I didn't want to play, I didn't have to. So I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, just teach them the fundamentals, and just the number one rule, just it's still a game, so you got to have fun with it. I mean, I'm playing professionally, and it's my job right now, but if I wasn't having fun doing it, I wouldn't be doing it anymore. So I think that's the number one thing.
By the way, I think that's a great answer, particularly because you see a lot of parents that are really forcing it down their kids' throats.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some camps in the past since I've signed and stuff, and it's and I have these dads or parents that think their kids are going to be superstars, and I just, you can tell even at a young age if they have coordination, and and then of course I don't tell them, no, I don't think your kid's that good, but and they think they got to do everything, take them to all these camps and pay a lot of money and stuff, but I just think just let them have fun, and if they think they're good, let them play. If not, let them play something else. But like I said, I think the main answer is just let them have fun.
It's interesting that you've raised your batting average each season, even though you're moving up and facing tougher pitching. Why do you think that is?
Oh man, I think I have gotten better every year, and I think it's just due to I'm a late bloomer. I think I catch on to things pretty quickly, but when it all comes down to putting in perspective, I think I just do it a little too late. But each year I figure something out newer, especially offensively, and it just seems to click for me each year, and I just get a lot more mature and more patient at the plate, and I think as each year goes on, I think I'm just going to keep getting better and better.
You hear players talk about knowing the situation, being able to predict the next pitch. How much of that do you do?
Well, especially, I mean, once you get to the AA level, you have to do that quite a bit. I mean, not necessarily the next pitch, but just the situations and the things you have to do to help your team win, like get the guy over, or try to hit a fly ball to get the runner in, or hit a ground ball to get the runner in. So not so much at lower ball, but just once you get to AA, they really, I think, concentrate on winning, because once you get to AA, you can get that call up to the big leagues any day, and I think, and of course that's the main objective in the big leagues, is to win, so they really want to teach that and enforce that. So you have to know the situations, definitely, and you have to do everything you can to get that job done for that particular situation.
Designated hitter, do you take it or leave it?
Oh, man. I'd say take it.
Okay, and in basketball, little guys love to post up, big guys love to shoot the three. Can you think of any comparison like that in baseball with little guys versus big guys?
Oh, I know I can do with like the pitchers and hitters thing. I know the pitchers want to hit and the hitters want to pitch sometimes, but
yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Have you ever missed a sign in a big moment?
Oh man, I just missed one the other night, but it wasn't really that big of a moment. No, I don't think not in a real big moment where it was a winning or losing or life or death situation. I would hope that I wouldn't miss it in that situation.
Do you have any long-term goals for your baseball career?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get to the big leagues and try to make a career out of it, and just like we talked about, keep getting better every year, and I think I can have a good chance doing that. I mean, my dream since I was little to play in the big leagues for the Cardinals, and I have that opportunity now. So I think I've this is like the most year ever I've been this focused and determined just to do what my ability allows me to do, and I think I'm finally showing the baseball world what I can do so far, and I think they're happy about it.
Aaron Herr playing Double-A baseball with the St. Louis Cardinals affiliate, the Springfield Cardinals. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That was Aaron Herr working his way up in the Cardinals system. The White Sox have a couple of younger brothers in their system. Wilton Guerrero is brother to perhaps the most talented offensive player in baseball, Vladimir. Wilton can play either second base or left field and is stationed at Charlotte with the AAA Knights. Being a switch hitter, Wilton has some value, but is getting up there in years and is also deemed a head case. In Los Angeles with the Dodgers, he jumped out to a leadoff first base, rounded second as the ball was being caught in deep left. Realizing he needed to tag up, Wilton, obviously, sprinted across the infield grass. After being called out, his coach had to explain what he did wrong. On another occasion, after his corked bat splintered into the infield, Wilton chased down the pieces in fear of being found out. In 8 Major League years, he is a .282 hitter, .320 lifetime minor league hitter. Carlos Lee, all-star left fielder for the Milwaukee Brewers, played 6 seasons for the Chi Sox. Even though he has left the team, his younger brother remains in the system. Carlos' brother Carlos, that's right, same name, is hitting just shy of 3 bills in high A Winston-Salem. The younger Lee plays catcher and hits from the right side of the plate. That will do it for this week. Stay tuned for more Main Event and come back next week to hear what your team's growing down on the farm.
The only place on your radio dial where sports fans are welcome 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Only on ESPN Radio 95.9. Now, let's get back to the main event.
5:58 here in the main event.
That's it.
Yeah, we're almost done, dude.
I think we're done.
We're almost done.
Oh, all right.
30 seconds or so.
Yeah, so
You got a nice quick recap?
here's the deal. Tomorrow, it's very simple. We will have Cubs baseball. We'll be on after Cubs baseball for NASCAR Pick'em, and then we'll go immediately into White Sox baseball at 5:30. So, guys, tune in tomorrow, and we'll get your thoughts on the Brickyard and see what you guys think.
It'll be fun. So, yeah, very short show tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Very short.
So, we're out of here. We're toast. We're the highway. We're dust in the wind.
Sing it, dude.
All we are
No, okay,
is
Don, I'm
dust
kidding.
in the wind.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Good night, everybody.
Peace and biscuits.